welcome back to the channel. Super excited to hop over to my iPad and just really dive in and get into today's video. I filmed a video all about digital planning in OneNote back in 2021, and I thought it was finally time to give a proper update. Just like back in 2021, OneNote is not my favorite way to take notes or digitally plan, but I did want to show you it's very possible to do and might even work out better for you if you're already using OneNote or have a mix of Apple and Windows products. For instance, a Windows computer, but an iPad, or maybe vice versa. I do have all Apple products. I'm fully switched over into that ecosystem. So OneNote might look a bit different for me as far as layout and function on my end, and it can be a little finicky at times, but you should still get a lot out of this video. I created an updated digital planner to use with OneNote, so I'm going to dive into that planner a bit today and also tell you at the end of this video how you can get this planner for yourself. And just as a small but very important aside, digital planners that are advertised as hyperlinked PDF files do not work well in OneNote. So if you're in the market for a non-free version of a digital planner to use in OneNote, you'll need to look specifically for ones that are created for you to use in the OneNote app, if that's the app of your choice for digital planning or taking notes. So let's go ahead and open up OneNote and get started today. So this is what the planner looks like just to start. So here I have my tabs along the side. I have a monthly, weekly, daily, and note papers section. If I click into the monthly, you can see that all the months here are set up. And I've designed this OneNote planner to actually kind of look like a planner. We have our tabs here on the side. Of course, they're non-functional, but it is still nice to be able to see that and kind of get the full effect of digital planning if you're using OneNote. In other apps like GoodNotes or Notability or things like that, these tabs are clickable, but that's really difficult to achieve in OneNote because a lot of OneNote is very fluid. You can zoom out and you have all of the space around your planner pages to add more things to. And so it's much easier to just have kind of your base file here and then use the tabs here along the side to navigate to the pages that you need to. Of course, you can zoom in and out and access the pages that way. So when it comes to importing notebooks and things like this, because this is a digital planner notebook, that's what they're called in OneNote, is notebooks here. So here is a tour of the planner. This is the Sunday start version. You have all of the monthlies here. And you can see that it's undated, so you'll easily be able to duplicate this file over and over and use it year after year without having to worry about, the dates being wrong, because you'll be able to add those dates in yourself, and I'll show you how you can actually link pages together using OneNote. So here are our monthly pages, very simple, easy design. The tabs here along the side are kind of this nice neutral color, and you'll see kind of the white tab to indicate what month you're on over here as well, which is nice. You kind of get the planner feel without having to worry about clicking links and things like that, because you can easily set those up yourself in OneNote, which I will show you later in this video. Then we have the weekly page. This is just an example that I've set up. So I just set up December 1 through 7, but you'll be able to go in and change this and duplicate this page as many times as you want. So if you don't normally use a lot of weekly pages, you don't have to use all of the weekly pages. You won't have 52 weeks here along the side. You can duplicate and use those as needed. But the great thing about OneNote is that you can actually have all of this additional space surrounding a planner page and add more things to that page that way as well. So you can have a tidy planner page, but then if you need to, add additional things or anything like that, you can zoom out, add them here along the side for yourself. So like the weekly page, there's only one daily page as well. I just set up December 1st as an example, but you'll be able to duplicate this as many times as you need and link them within your planner. So that is also a great option if you're not using a ton of daily pages. So this file is not humongous and full of, 365 pages, since you can add them as you need them. That is what we have for our daily page in this planner. And then the next section is note papers. And I've included 4 basic note papers that you can use throughout your planner as well. And you can actually use these to create templates later in your planner. So we have a blank page. So this is just a blank white page that has the tabs here along the side that you can use to create templates or take notes right within your digital planner. We also have a graph page. So this is just your traditional graph paper, again with the tabs along the side. Then we have a dot grid, so if you need to use dot grid for drawing, taking notes, creating templates within your planner. And then we also have Cornell, which is usually for more note-taking things, so you can take notes in your digital planner and kind of explore note-taking and digital planning together through OneNote. So that is what this planner looks like. You can also add more sections if you want. So if you want to create a finances section or a health section or things like that, you can do that and duplicate any of these pages into that section. Similarly, you can add pages using this button right here along the side to duplicate and add pages to your sections as well. So if I wanted to add an additional section within my planner that doesn't necessarily fall under a monthly, weekly, daily, or note paper section, I can just do plus section, and then I can name it finances or whatever I want. You can see that it's automatically created a new page for me in this section, and this is where I can name whatever the page is. So I will also call this, we'll call this December Finances, for example, and I'll have that there. One important note with things like OneNote is that in order to kind of name a page or a section or things like that, you will have to have kind of a heading up here. There is a way to hide the heading on the computer, but you will still need to add some sort of text to kind of name the page. So if I go back to my monthly, for instance, you'll see that we have this kind of April text floating off to the side here. And that's so I can name the page within this monthly section. So that is one kind of quirk about OneNote as far as naming pages within the notebook. So I did want to hop into a few exciting things about how to digital plan in OneNote. The experience is very similar to digital planning in an app like GoodNotes, aside from being able to click hyperlinks and things like that. As far as the tabs go, you can still write and draw and add shapes and pictures, and there's just a lot of cool stuff that I think makes OneNote a little bit more unique as far as that goes. So if I go under draw, for instance, you'll see there is a text mode. And again, this just lets me go in and write my own text. So I can write, appointment this day. I can do appointment at 10 a.m. And then if I go under home, this is where I can actually change, the font size, the color, and all of that here. So if you want to access the custom fonts on your iPad, you'll need to scroll all the way down because there's a separate section for those. So this is iOS fonts, and these are fonts that I installed on my iPad. If you have questions about how to install fonts on your iPad, I do have a separate tutorial on that I can definitely link below for you. So if I just want to go with a nice font here, I will go with my handwriting. And that is the KDigitalStudio font. So I'm just going to scroll down to KDigitalStudio. That looks like my handwriting. And I can change the font color here. So maybe I want to go with a gray color to make it kind of look more like a pen. And then I can have my appointment here. I can move it wherever I need to. And that's very similar to any kind of note-taking app. You're able to use the text tool, add your text that way. Under draw, again, we have our lasso select. So I can select and move things as I need to, just as you would expect to be able to do with a lasso tool. And we also have our eraser, of course, and then we have our pen tools here. So these are really fun, I think, because they have a lot of space and like nebula-like colors, which I think is so much fun. So I can actually select this. Here I can adjust the sizing if I need to, as well as the opacity. And what's really fun about this is that when I zoom in and I go to write, kind of creates this space or like nebula-like effect, which I think is really fun and can add a lot of detail and fun to your digital planners. Of course, they still have the same colors here. You can choose your own color, or you can just go with your traditional black color as far as writing out appointments and deadlines and things like that. But this is a really handy feature, is being able to have kind of access to these fun little rainbow or space-like themes. It's kind of like using glitter pens and things like that from the store. So I really enjoy using that. Of course, we have our highlighter, of course, and I really like the preset highlighter colors in OneNote. I find them to be very vibrant and kind of true to what it's like highlighting on paper as well. So I can just highlight whatever I need in my digital planner or while I'm taking notes in OneNote. And I really enjoy the highlighter tool in these as well. Of course, I can add my own ink colors for my pens and my highlighters, but I really do enjoy the preset options for these because I find them to be very unique and vibrant. So that is the options as far as, taking notes and highlighting and things in OneNote. Of course, you can add shapes as well. One thing that I really enjoyed about OneNote whenever I was in college was this. There's options to create graphs in OneNote, and so they have these 3 axis options, which would have been really helpful when I was taking calculus. So I really like having access to those options as well. and I can just hit the undo button if I need to remove anything. Of course, they have your regular shapes in here. You have your rectangle and you have your circle here, and I can just change the color that I need to change the color of my shape as well. So now I can have kind of rainbow lined shapes to use throughout my planner as well. And these can be fun to create and use stickers or create some differentiation in your digital planner as well. You can also use the ink to shape tool. So this allows you to draw shapes and have them auto perfect. And this feature you might be familiar with in other note-taking apps as well. So I can just draw and it's going to try and perfect that shape depending on what it thinks I was drawing. Under drawing mode, you can actually draw with touch. So if I do this, I can actually draw with my finger as well. I know a lot of people like having access to that option, and you do within OneNote. If I just click that off though, then I can just move things around with my finger, which is what I tend to prefer, but that is an option you can turn on and off to use as you need to. This is where we can access more features to insert things within our digital planner. A lot of people like to use stickers and add their own pictures for memories and things like that within their digital planner, and you're able to do that in OneNote as well. So under insert, I can add in pictures. I can actually add in a table as well. The table function is great because you can create your own tables, of course. So if you need to create something like a finances table to track your categories, your dates, your expenses, things like that, you're able to do that by easily just creating tables like this in OneNote. In other note-taking apps, a lot of times you just kind of have to draw this by hand, but this is something that you can easily create and insert in your OneNote planner. And it's also a great way to create templates that way, especially if you're using a lot of table-based templates. If I wanted to insert a picture, I can do that as well. So if I wanted to insert a picture of an Apple Pencil, I can do that. And we're just gonna click done. And then here's my picture here. And I can resize this and all of that. It's a great option to be able to add digital stickers and things to your planner as well. They also do have a stickers section, which is quite fun. So you can use kind of the pre-built-in stickers that are available within OneNote as well, and you can add those within your planner. If you use Microsoft a lot, maybe you use it for work or things like that, if you have meetings synced within your Outlook account, your Microsoft account, things like that, you can actually access those along the side as well. So you would just sign into your Microsoft account, and along the side, you'll be able to see any Outlook meetings or meetings and events that you created in Outlook. So you'll be able to see these along the side, and you can actually just hide that window. And so whenever you're in a different month and you're planning things out and maybe you need to access your calendar, you can actually just do that by clicking meeting details and seeing those details along the side here as well. Another thing that I really like about OneNote is that they do have kind of these checkboxes that I think are really cool. So you can add a checkbox and then add a task. So let's say I needed to add a task to my monthly calendar. What I can do is just use that checkbox tool, and then I can use my lasso here and I'll move that here. And then whenever I complete a task, I can actually just check that off within my OneNote planner. I really like features like this where they have interactive checkboxes because I find that really handy and unique to use. So something like this would be great on a daily page for your to-do list or your weekly page or things like that. Of course, they have things like stars that you can add. So if you need to kind of star a certain event or things like that, you can do that as well. And then they have a question mark. You could use this a lot for note-taking as well if you have a question about something that you need to get back to, but I can see this really being utilized as well for digital planning within OneNote, and I think that's really, really handy. Under View, we have access to even more options. We can actually hide our section list here. So if you do like kind of seeing the sections here along the side, you can leave that option open. That way it's easy to kind of jump between all of these pages. But if you find that you want more space to plan or write or things like that in your digital planner, you can actually select Hide Section List. And it will hide that section, so you're only accessing the pages within that section. And then whenever you need to access the section, just hit the back button, navigate to the section that you need, and then navigate to the page that you need as well. Because OneNote is, integrated with Microsoft, they do have spell check and things like that, and you can turn that off if you're ever running into issues with spell check. What I think is really unique about OneNote as well, again, is being able to zoom out, access all of this space outside of your planner page, which could be really helpful. And you're actually able to change the page color as well. If I go under paper color here, I can actually choose different paper colors that surround my planner page. Of course, I can go in with just no color, which is kind of the more minimal side of things. But if you enjoy having a little bit of color kind of surrounding your planner, maybe differentiating your planner page from the rest of the page within OneNote, you can do that as well. And I think that's quite fun to access, and you can access that under View. We can also change the paper style as well. So if you want lines around your planner page, or maybe you want a grid option, you can use and do that as well. And I think that's really cool. Another big thing when it comes to digital planning is that digital planning is often kind of like keeping a diary to a lot of people. A lot of people like to journal and memory keep within their digital planners. And so a lot of times it's very important for us to be able to password protect our pages. And you can't necessarily do that in every note-taking app available on iPad or on other tablets even. You can actually password protect pages, and this is a great option again for the more journaling style that you want to keep to yourself, or maybe you're including finances or passwords or other personal information that you don't want to be easily accessed. You're able to password protect within OneNote, which is a great option, especially for digital planning and note-taking within OneNote. So if you have multiple devices, it will sync. This digital planner will sync if you are signed into the same Microsoft account. It's just like if you were taking notes on OneNote, if you're taking them on your Surface tablet or your iPad or things like that, they will sync across your computer if you're accessing Microsoft OneNote on your computer as well. You just want to make sure that you're signed into the same OneDrive account. So if I were to sign into OneDrive on my computer, I'd be able to access the same file and all the changes that I've made, see all of my plans, can add pages or links on my computer and see those also on my iPad. And I can access it from anywhere without worrying about my devices being across different ecosystems. So if I didn't have a Mac computer, but I did have an iPad, I could still draw, write out my plans and things like that on my iPad to get that kind of digital planning written feel with my iPad, and then still access and view those using my computer. All right, so now let's get into how we can copy pages, create links between our pages, just use as many pages as we need. So let's hop over into our daily page, for example. For our daily page here, let's say I wanted to go ahead and start setting up December 2nd. What I can do is I can long press on the page and then come down here to this page icon here. And you'll see I'll be able to move this page, so I can move it to a different section within my OneNote digital planner if I needed to, or I can copy. I'm gonna hit copy. And then this is where I can select which tab or which section I would like it to go into. Since I'm creating another daily page, I'm just going to select the daily tab. From here, I can go in and change this to December 2nd. And then I have my daily page all set up. And actually what I can do is come over here under draw and then do my lasso. Then I can lasso and I can actually move this to day of, since this is where I can indicate what that daily page is. And that way I still have my page titled for December 2nd. Of course, then I can go in with my drawing tools or my text tools, write out my schedule and things like that. I could do my to-do list here, contact my accountant, and then just move that to represent my to-do list. So then when I am able to accomplish that, I can just tap to check it off for my daily page. So now if I go back to my monthly page, let's go to monthly under the monthly section and then go to December. What I can do is I can actually go in and date these and actually hyperlink them to the daily pages. So what I'm actually going to do is head back to that daily page that I created. Let's go with December 1st to start. If I long press on December 1st and hit copy, or this page icon down here, it'll pull up this menu here. We already know how to copy pages within different sections of our planner. We can just hit copy, reuse the daily page over and over again as we need to. But we're going to click copy link to page, and we're actually going to link pages together in our OneNote digital planner. Now, creating links on the desktop version of OneNote is so much easier and so much quicker, but you can still do that on your iPad just with a few workarounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click copy link to page. I'm going to click done. Now I'm going to go back under my monthly section and go to my December tab. And I don't know off the top of my head the first day of December, so I'm just going to stick with Sunday for this one. So under draw, I'm going to select my text tool here, and then I have to go under insert and then click link. And then what I'm going to do is actually open up my keyboard, and I'm going to type OneNote : and then the pound symbol, and then I'm going to tap into that box and click paste. And I'm going to do that under the address selection. And then display is what text it's going to show. Currently it's going to show that weird hyperlink that I created. So I'm just going to click out of that. And for that, I'm just going to put 1 to represent the first day of December. And because I'm linking to the first daily page of December. And if I click done, is going to create this hyperlink. Now, if I want to change up, the font or things like that, I can go under home and we'll just hit select all, and then I can change the font size and things like that. So we'll do it in my handwriting. And the hyperlink will be blue to represent that it is a hyperlink. So that's what it kind of looks like within OneNote. If I zoom in here, I can go in and click that link and click open, and then it opens to my December 1st daily page. Of course, if you don't want to hyperlink pages within your digital planner in OneNote, you can also just draw out the numbers. So I can come over to my draw tool with my pen selected and can just draw these in 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all the way down, things like that. But this is a great way to be able to easily jump to your daily pages without, coming over here, clicking daily and jumping that way as well. Just nice little shortcuts that you can take to kind of jump to your pages within your digital planner. You could do the same setup on a weekly page as well. So if I wanted to have that same process for my daily pages on my weekly pages, I'm just going to hit lasso. We're going to copy that, move over into my weekly page and paste that in there. And then I can move this guy to represent my daily page in there. Then I can press, click open, and it pops me back to my first daily page as well. I do find this setup to be a lot faster and easier on the computer as far as setting up your links. So whenever you do go to import a digital planner in your OneNote and you want to go ahead and set up hyperlinks within your planner, I recommend doing that if possible on your computer, so it's much easier to use on your iPad. iPad's great for drawing and writing and some basic text functions within your digital planner, adding stickers and things like that. But setting up hyperlinks can be pretty tedious if you're not using your computer with OneNote. So that's how you can copy pages, create links between your pages, and just use as many pages as you need. If I needed to use a note paper, for instance, I could long press on this and click copy. Then I can copy it to whatever section that I need. So if I wanted to use this on a weekly, do that, head to my weekly section, and we have this blank note paper option as well. Here's where I could create templates either by drawing or using the table tool, or even pulling in PNG files of templates that I already have within my digital planner. If I needed to move this, just long press and click move, and I can move that into my finances section to, kind of continue creating my finance table for tracking things within my planner. So I am super excited to offer this OneNote digital planner for you for free just by using the link in the description. You'll need to sign up for my newsletter to gain access to this planner, but I'm a huge fan of freebies, so you'll unlock my entire freebie studio, not just this OneNote digital planner, and you'll also get some really rad resources sent to you monthly, all about iPad and digital planning. So if you love content like this, you're gonna love the newsletter as well. So you'll have to start this process on your computer, but once you're all set up on the computer, you'll be able to access it from your iPad or tablet. You'll head to the OneNote notebook importer. You'll need to make sure that you've unzipped the zip file first that you've downloaded that you get after signing up for the newsletter, and then you'll click import and select the folder that you get after unzipping. If you click into the folder, you'll see all of its structures and different files from within. You don't want to click fully inside the folder. You just want to click that main folder structure to import. Now, I've noticed OneNote can take a while to load the planner. You might have blank pages for a while, especially if you have low storage space within your Microsoft account. We have a weaker internet connection. Just give it a lot of time and refresh and resync every now and again to kind of help it along. OneNote can be a little finicky, so I hope that you're able to access this and use it and find it to your benefit. Feel free to leave me a comment if you need help or others that can jump in to help as well. I will have written instructions for the import process down in the description below, along with some troubleshooting tips, and these are directly from Microsoft about using OneNote notebooks like this one. I hope you found this video helpful. I think it's really interesting the capabilities of OneNote compared to other apps that I've tried, and I think the organization is likely more pleasing to a lot of people, especially knowing that they can access these files across different devices. If you have a Surface tablet and a Mac, or a Windows computer and an iPad, or just some weird combination of devices with different operating systems, I think OneNote is a great option as far as getting that syncing capability if that's something you feel like you need for digital planning. Accessing your planner on your computer, your phone, or your tablet. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos just like this one from me, and let me know if you'd love to see more on OneNote, note-taking, and digital planning. I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye!